Welcome to United Report, your daily hub for all things Manchester United, from transfer news and match updates to exclusive stories. We've got you covered. If you're a true Red Devil, hit subscribe and join the United family. Glory, glory, Man United. Manchester United may finally be set to offload Jadon Sancho, and it could spark a bidding war. Chelsea have pulled out, but now both Fenerbahce and Juventus are pushing for a deal, giving the Red Devils fresh hope of recouping a decent fee. With Sancho, Rashford and Antony all tipped to leave, Ruben Amorim's squad overhaul is truly underway. Let's get into the latest transfer twist at Old Trafford. Manchester United have been given a glimmer of hope that an auction for Jadon Sancho could help drive up the winger's price. Chelsea opted against signing the England international at the end of his season-long loan, but a second new club has now entered the race. Fenerbahce were already linked with Sancho, who has found things tough at Old Trafford since joining in a big money move from Borussia Dortmund in 2021. Jose Mourinho aren't the only side in the mix, though, it has been claimed. According to The Sun, Juventus are now ready to test United's resolve. The Serie A club are looking to add to their ranks after installing Igor Tudor as manager, and Sancho is said to be a target. Juve endured a difficult season last term, but Tudor helped them sneak into the final Champions League qualification spot after replacing Thiago Motta in March. The Bianconeri are also through to the last 16 of the Club World Cup, where they will face Real Madrid. They face Manchester City on Thursday, with the winner knowing they would likely avoid Los Blancos and set up a meeting with Al Hilal. The game was delicately poised at the break, with City 2-1 ahead, only for Erling Haaland, Phil Foden and Savinho to all score in the second half to earn a 5-2 win. Fenerbahce had reportedly been hopeful of getting a deal over the line for as little as £15 states. With a second club now in the mix, though, that could change. Chelsea's loan deal for Sancho included an obligation to buy the player for around £25 However, they also had the option of paying £5 to get out of that obligation, and did just that despite the winger scoring in their Conference League final victory. If United are able to cash in on Sancho, it could help free up transfer funds and wage budget. Ruben Amorim's side have already completed their first signing of the season, with Matheus Cunha joining in a £62.5 million move from Wolves, and further ins and outs are anticipated. Bryan Mbeumo is also set to move to Old Trafford, with the Brentford star due to arrive for a similar sum. With two attacking players on the way in, logic dictates that there will be no room for at least one other member of the front line. Like Sancho, both Marcus Rashford and Antony finished last season out on loan. Both have been tipped for summer exits, as has Alejandro Garnacho, as Amorim aims to streamline his squad. Manchester United's transfer window is heating up. The Red Devils are closing in on Porto's Diogo Costa as their new number one, and developments in Portugal are tipping the scales in United's favour. Meanwhile, Antony's exit could be permanent, with Real Betis gaining financial firepower just in time. And over in Spain, Marcus Rashford's dream move to Barcelona might just have new life, thanks to a surprise departure at the Camp Nou. All the moving pieces, all the transfer drama, let's break it down. Manchester United's chase for Porto goalkeeper Diogo Costa has been given a lift, while the sale of £86 million disappointment Antony has also been buoyed. Ruben Amorim's squad have already secured Wolves star Matheus Cunha in this transfer window, costing them a hefty £62.5 million. However, there could still be more arrivals at Old Trafford. Following another inconsistent season from number one, Andre Onana, the Red Devils are keen to bring in a new goalkeeper. One potential recruit is 25-year-old Portugal international Costa. The Porto ace seems set to leave his homeland during this window. Recent developments suggest that his team are also on the hunt for a new goalkeeper, which boosts United's chances of securing him. Real Betis also appear ready to receive a significant cash injection, potentially increasing their ability to afford United flop Antony, while a medical that could have a knock-on effect regarding Marcus Rashford's potential move to Barcelona has been scheduled. Here, Mirror Football looks at all the transfer market goings-on that could benefit the Red Devils. Amorim's hunt for a new number one could conclude this summer if a deal for Porto's Costa is agreed upon. Ebola reports that Costa will depart the Portuguese giants this summer in pursuit of a new challenge. It's been hinted that he dreams of playing in England, and both United, as well as rivals Manchester City, are keen on his services. Costa has a £64 release clause in his contract. Costa's current team have already lined up a replacement, with TV Azteca reporting that Cruz Azul's goalkeeper, Kevin Mir, is on Porto's shortlist and has been prioritised by club president André Villas-Boas. Porto boss Martin Anselmi is also claimed to have recommended the club sign him. While it's suggested that the Portuguese side will face competition for Colombian Mir from Galatasaray, if they secure him, Costa's departure could be imminent, reports the Manchester Evening News. Real Betis looks set to bag a 26-metre windfall with midfielder Johnny Cardoso on the brink of joining La Liga rivals Atletico Madrid. This cash boost could allow Antony to leave Old Trafford for good. The Brazilian winger, who joined under Erik ten Hag in 2022 for a whopping 86 million, never lived up to his price tag in Manchester and was loaned out to the Spanish side in January. Antony seemed a player reborn in Spain, netting 9 goals and providing 5 assists, while playing a significant role in their journey to the Europa Conference League final, where they were defeated by Chelsea. With Cardoso almost out the door, it remains to be seen whether the 26 million gained will be used to bring Antony back to the club permanently. Reports suggest a fee of £25 would suffice, while the player would be open to the move. With Rashford's future at Old Trafford looking increasingly uncertain, Barcelona have been tipped as a potential new home for the star, who spent last season on loan at Aston Villa. As per TalkSport, despite the club closing in on a deal for Euro 2024 hero Nico Williams, the La Liga giants could make a move for Rashford this summer. Meanwhile, young Barcelona winger Ansu Fati, who previously had a stint with Brighton, is reportedly close to securing a loan move to French side AS Monaco. According to Fabrizio Romano, a medical has already been scheduled. The departure of Fati could potentially open up a spot in the squad and free up the wages to accommodate Rashford, though at this stage a move for the England star still seems unlikely. Manchester United have been accused of wasting hundreds of millions of pounds on substandard players and vanity signings that have plunged the fallen giants into their biggest crisis for half a century. United ended last season in 15th place, their worst ever Premier League finish, and missed out on European football for only the second time in 35 years after losing the Europa League final to Tottenham. The Red Devils have spent more than £1.5 billion on players in the post-Sir Alex Ferguson era, yet have failed to compete for the Premier League title in that time and lost their way as a major force in world football. Money has been wasted on flops like Angel Di Maria, Alexis Sanchez, Morgan Schneiderlin, Paul Pogba, Romelu Lukaku, Fred, Donny van der Beek, Jadon Sancho and Antony, none of whom delivered on their exorbitant fees or wages. United legend Teddy Sheringham, part of the historic treble-winning side of 1999, accused his former club of losing the values that made the club great, particularly when it comes to the recruitment of players. "I think United have been valuing the wrong things in players for a long time now," said Sheringham. Sir Alex Ferguson, he always identified those deeper qualities in players. Whenever a player with a big upside was available, United and Fergie were in for them. I think of the likes of Gary Pallister, Roy Keane, Wayne Rooney, Rio Ferdinand and more. They were great players before United, and they wanted to sign for United because they knew what the manager could do to make them into top players. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. More and more players recognise that their careers will do better if they go somewhere else. If you get great players at an early age and move them up to the very top of their game, it sets an example that other players want to follow. There's not enough leaders at Manchester United at the moment, and that's exactly where they're failing. Sheringham cited Scott McTominay to support his claim, the title-winning Napoli midfielder having just been crowned Serie A Player of the Season, just a year after United sold him to the Italian club. "I think they knew he was a good player, maybe not to the degree that he's performed this past season," said Sheringham, speaking to Racing Tipster. "But let's have a look at his attitude, his leadership qualities, the way he plays the game and the way he carries himself. I thought these qualities were obvious for United and for Scotland. Every time he pulled on the Scotland shirt, you could tell he was a leader, and United fans loved him. He has that British mentality, where he knows and understands what it means to play for United, to represent his country and all that. The issue with what United did for me is that you've got to read the signs. They should have rated his leadership qualities and all the things he brought to the table. Okay, I understand that to go and be the player of the year in Italy last season is phenomenal, but the signs were there that he was capable of that. It's exactly what United have been missing at the moment. He leads by example, and that's how football clubs get better and stronger.